Thinking about moving to Texas, but not sure which city is the right fit? Austin, Dallas, San Antonio, and Houston each have something big to offer, but also some trade-offs you may not expect.
We're pitting these cities together across 6 essential categories, from cost of living to job market, to traffic, lifestyle, and even some weird local quirks. Stick around to the end because you might be surprised which city is crowned a winner.
Living in Austin, Texas, with our experience, patience, and positivity. Follow us and we'll show you the Wilson way.
Whether you're moving in 10 days or 10 months, we're here to help. When you're ready to plan your move, book a Zoom call using the link in the description, or hit us up by text or email if that's more your speed.
Subscribe for weekly insights that can help you avoid common mistakes and feel more prepared every step of the way.
Let's kick things off with one of the biggest deal breakers, or deal makers for relocation, affordability. And just because it's Texas, doesn't mean it's cheap across the board.
In fact, if you're coming from places like California or the Northeast, some cities here might still feel like a bargain, but others, they'll test your budget and your blood pressure.
Let's start with the numbers. As of early 2025, the median home price in Austin is about $564,000. Beautiful city, strong job market, but you'll pay a premium for it.
Dallas comes in a little easier on the wallet with a median home price of $419,000. But don't be fooled. Insurance premiums, property taxes, and higher utility bills can stack up quickly depending on the neighborhood.
If you're looking for real breathing room in your budget, Houston and San Antonio may be your best bet. Houston's median home price is around $325,000, and San Antonio is right behind at $300,000.
That's a $260,000 difference between Austin and San Antonio. Not small potatoes, especially when you're budgeting for retirement, remote work, or even a second home.
And affordability isn't just what you pay for a home, it's about what you keep. Factor in Texas's notoriously high property taxes. In Travis County, where Austin is located, the property tax percentage is around 1.8%. That's one of the highest in the nation.
And that doesn't even include additional taxes that you may have to pay if you're in a MUD, which is a municipal utility district, or a PID, which is a public improvement district. Meanwhile, some areas in San Antonio and Houston offer lower tax rates, fewer HOA fees, and more energy efficient new builds, especially in the suburbs.
So which city gives you the best value for your money? We're keeping score as we go and revealing all the winners at the end of the video, so stay with us.
Okay, so now you know where your dollars go the furthest, but what about bringing those dollars in? Let's talk jobs, because where you live is important, but where you work, that pays the bills.
Austin is the tech capital of Texas and continues to punch above its weight. According to the Texas Workforce Commission, Austin had the fastest job growth among all major metropolitan areas, with a 4.1% year-over-year increase as of January 2025. This includes thousands of new jobs at Tesla, Apple, Samsung, and Oracle. The unemployment rate in Austin is just 3.4%. That is well below the national average of 4.1% reported by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. This city is still the land of opportunity for high-income professionals and entrepreneurs alike.
Dallas-Fort Worth added nearly 140,000 jobs last year and is one of the most economically diverse metros in the country. Finance, healthcare, tech, and transportation are all booming. Its 12-month job growth is a strong 3.5%, with major employers like American Airlines, AT&T, and Charles Schwab expanding operations. The region's unemployment rate sits at 3.9%, slightly above Austin's, but still below the national average.
Energy is king in Houston, but that's not the whole story. Houston is also a leader in healthcare and biomedical research. While job growth was slower at 2.7%, the area still added tens of thousands of jobs, especially in construction and professional services. Unemployment is higher at 4.4%, but it's coming down steadily.
San Antonio is steady but not flashy. Job growth was 2.3% last year, and the economy is heavily driven by military, tourism, and healthcare. Unemployment sits at 3.8%, slightly slightly below the national average. It's not booming like Austin or Dallas, but it is stable, and that counts for something.
With top-tier job growth, low unemployment, and a thriving tech sector, Austin takes the win here. But if you want more industry diversity, Dallas is a very close second.
All right, so you found the perfect home, you've locked in a great job, but now let's talk about the one thing that could wreck your day before it even starts: traffic.
Because whether you're heading to the airport, the office, or just grabbing breakfast tacos, your commute in Texas could mean the difference between peaceful mornings or stress eating in a Starbucks parking lot.
I've done that a few times.
We both have.
Let's talk real numbers. In 2024, Houston drivers lost a staggering 66 hours to traffic congestion. That's nearly 3 full days of your life just sitting in your car listening to the same classic rock station on repeat.
Austin and San Antonio were slightly better, each averaging 39 hours lost in traffic. But that's still an entire work week wasted. Meanwhile, Dallas came in at 41 hours, right in between.
And it's not just time you're losing. In Houston, the average driver lost $1,181 in 2024 just to congestion. That's enough to pay for your HOA fees for the year, or buy 295 breakfast tacos, depending on how spicy you like them.
Austin and San Antonio drivers were out around $698, and Dallas wasn't far behind at $734. Either way, you're paying in time and money.
Now, downtown commute speeds. Buckle up or don't. You're not going anywhere fast. Houston and Austin both averaged about 17 miles per hour in downtown in 2024. Dallas and San Antonio weren't much better at 18 miles per hour.
That's about as fast as your old Huffy used to go in middle school. Throw in a fanny pack and a Walkman, yes, we said those, and you're basically commuting like it's 1989. So if commuting is high on your priority list, some Texas cities might give you your life back, while others, well, they'll take it one brake light at a time. And when I lived in San Antonio back in the early 2000s, coming from Kansas, I had never seen anything like those massive highway interchanges. What Texans lovingly call mix masters. I still don't understand what that means. I still remember looking up at one and thinking, this isn't a road, it's an amusement park ride. Let's just say I learned pretty fast what they mean by everything's bigger in Texas. And yes, it's as terrifying as it is impressive the first time you try to drive on one.
Hang tight, we're not naming names just yet. We've got lifestyle, weather, and the wild card round still ahead. And the winner of this showdown might surprise you.
All right, let's shift gears from gridlock to good times. Because if you're moving to Texas, you're not just buying a house, you're buying into a lifestyle.
And you bet Texas knows how to have a good time. From live music to pro sports, 5-star restaurants to floating down a river in an inner tube with a drink in hand, there's a little something for everyone. Let's see how these 4 cities stack up in the lifestyle category.
Austin is the live music capital of the world, and it lives up to its name. South by Southwest, Austin city limits, and local venues on South Congress Avenue and Red River. They don't disappoint. It's also one of the best cities for outdoor lovers. Think paddleboarding on Lady Bird Lake, hiking the Greenbelt, or grabbing food truck tacos before catching a show at the Moody Amphitheater. And my drone catches it all.
Austin's vibe is youthful, but not immature. It's a haven for creatives, tech transplants, and anyone who loves quirky local flair with a side of kombucha. But you'll also find world-class restaurants, boutique shopping, and luxury condos with rooftop views. We actually toured a luxury condo in the Mueller neighborhood, and you should check out that video if you want to know more. This isn't just a college town anymore. It's a high-end lifestyle city in disguise.
If Austin is your artsy friend in band t-shirts, Dallas is your friend in designer suits with Maverick season tickets. That's the NBA team if you didn't know. The city is upscale, polished, and packed with shopping, dining, and sports. You've got the Cowboys, the Stars, which is an NHL team, the Mavs, and enough steakhouses to host a meat lovers convention.
Dallas also has fantastic museums, a huge arts district, and top-tier restaurants. If you're into luxury living, this is your playground. Think rooftop cocktails in Uptown, private golf clubs, and high-rise condos that look like something out of a Bond film.
Houston brings the flavor. It's the most diverse city in the United States, and the food scene reflects that. Vietnamese, Cajun crawfish, Tex-Mex, barbecue, and about 10,000 more restaurants to try. There's also NASA, the Museum District, pro sports, and a great local music scene that flies under the radar.
Houston feels big, but it also has these charming little pockets, like the Heights and Montrose, that feel like they're their own little worlds. Just don't expect zoning laws. You might see a taco truck next to a Pilates studio and a 2-story mansion on the same block. But hey, it works.
Funny enough, we actually lived in Montrose for a few months back in 2008 when we were working catastrophe claims after a major hurricane.
That was a former life.
Feels like a lifetime ago. It was supposed to be temporary, but we seriously considered staying.
That's right. We tried a different cuisine every night. Houston's food scene isn't just good, it is world class.
San Antonio is your pick if you want culture and charm. The Riverwalk is iconic, and there is no shortage of historical sites, food spots, and outdoor fun. It's also incredibly walkable in the downtown core, perfect if you want that slower pace of life without giving up great dining or attractions.
You'll find festivals year-round, from Fiesta to Day of the Dead, and neighborhoods like Pearl District blend historic architecture with trendy wine bars and farm-to-table restaurants. It's laid back, it's soulful, and it's one of the most underrated cities in Texas.
So which city fits your vibe? Music and lakes, fine dining and pro sports, culture and history, or a global foodie's paradise?
Let us know in the comments which city you'd spend your weekends exploring. The answer says a lot about where you might want to live.
Now let's talk about something Texans know all too well, the weather. Because you can't choose your forecast, but you can choose your city's climate risk. And in Texas, the weather isn't just a small talk topic. It can impact your energy bill, your insurance rates, and even your quality of life.
We're not going to sugarcoat it. Texas summers are brutal across the board, but some cities, they're on a whole nother level. And then there's the whole which natural disaster do you want to dodge? Hurricanes, floods, hail, tornadoes, we've got the whole buffet.
Austin is hot, but not Gulf Coast hot. In 2024, the city saw 47 days of triple-digit heat, including a brutal high of 110 degrees. But here's the upside: mild winters and very little threat of hurricanes. That said, droughts and wildfire risk are rising, especially on the outskirts of hill country.
Translation, you'll need a great AC system, blackout curtains, and probably a second fridge just for sparkling water. Or regular water.
Or beer, or wine, or whatever you want to help you deal with the hot heat.
But hey, no snow shovels required.
Dallas gets scorching summers and cold snaps in the winter. Yes, we're talking about ice storms. And that Texas power grid is still a work in progress. You'll also get tornado warnings on the regular. It's a little bit of everything: heat, hail, and the occasional frozen driveway.
Take it from me, I grew up in a suburb just north of Dallas called Denton, and the weather there, pure chaos. Summers were so hot, you could fry an egg on the hood of your car. And in the winter, I once slid back on a sheet of ice and slow-mo crashed into a stop sign. Nothing like making eye contact with a pedestrian while slowly wrecking your car at 3 miles an hour. Good times.
No. The phrase Texas bipolar weather was basically invented for Dallas. You'll wear shorts and a parka in the same week and possibly need flood insurance and a backup generator.
Houston brings the humidity and the hurricanes. It's the most humid city in Texas and saw multiple flash flood events in 2024 alone. Between the heat index and the storm risk, this city can be a lot to handle, especially if you're new to the Gulf Coast life.
Basically, every time I go to Houston, it's like going back to South Florida, except there's no palm trees. You'll need flood insurance, backup power, and patience for soggy socks. But the trade-off is lush greenery, tropical vibes, and some of the prettiest post-rain sunsets you'll ever see.
San Antonio gets hot, but not as hot as Austin and not as humid as Houston. The risk of hurricanes is low, and while there are occasional droughts and flash floods, it's generally more stable weather-wise. Mild winters, plenty of sunshine, and less extreme weather overall.
If you're looking for Texas light when it comes to weather risks, San Antonio might be your Goldilocks zone. Not too hot, not too stormy, and no frozen pipes.
So what's your weather deal breaker? Triple digits? Flash floods? Surprise snow days?
Let us know in the comments. Or better yet, yet, message us and we'll help you find the city that fits your comfort zone, literally.
All right, it's time for the wild card round. You've seen the stats, the neighborhoods, the traffic, but this might be the most Texas thing we talk about all day.
Because if you've spent any time in Texas, you'll know every city has its own weird food obsessions. Some are amazing and some, well, let's just say are an acquired taste.
Let's start with Austin, where queso is basically a personality trait. I'm not even joking. People will put queso on fries, guilty, burgers, salad, breakfast tacos. I've literally seen someone dip a granola bar in queso.
True story.
It's a lifestyle.
A tasty lifestyle. And I have no shame. I've absolutely had queso for dinner. Zero regrets.
Next up, Dallas, birthplace of the frozen margarita and the State Fair of Texas, where they deep fry everything. Fried butter, fried Coke, fried beer. We saw fried Jell-O once. I'm still emotionally recovering.
We get it, Dallas. You're extra. But we're kind of here for it.
Now let's talk Houston, where the food culture is a full-on global experience. One thing that blew our minds, Viet Cajun crawfish. It's spicy, buttery, loaded with garlic. It's like Louisiana and Vietnam threw a dinner party and didn't tell anyone.
And we're still thinking about it. When we lived in Montrose, a few months after Hurricane Ike back in 2008, we had a different kind of cuisine every single night. The food in Houston, absolute game changer.
And then there's San Antonio, home of the famous puffy taco.
What is a puffy taco, Alisha?
If you've never had one, imagine a regular taco shell, but it's deep fried until it balloons up into this golden, crispy cloud of deliciousness. It's messy, it's magical. It's the reason I keep emergency napkins in my glove box when I visit San Antonio.
Let us know in the comments. Which one would you try first? Or better yet, tell us the weirdest food tradition from your city. We're always down to taste test in the name of research.
All right, we've talked housing, jobs, lifestyle, traffic, weather, and food. But here's the question that brought you here. Which Texas city actually wins? Before we reveal the winners, take a second to drop your pick in the comments.
The truth is, there's no one-size-fits-all answer, and that's a good thing. Every city has its strengths. The best one for you depends on your lifestyle, priorities, and what trade-offs you're willing to make.
Austin would be a winner for you if you're looking for a high opportunity market with a booming tech scene, walkable outdoor spaces, and a culture that blends luxury with laid back energy. If you want a place where creativity meets career potential, this might be your move.
Dallas might be a winner for you if you want economic diversity, polished living, and access to some of the state's best shopping, entertainment, and business hubs. This city rewards ambition and has the infrastructure to support it.
Houston would be a winner for you if you want global flavor, space to grow, and a housing market where your dollar stretches further. If you're a foodie or work in healthcare, engineering, or energy, Houston will feel like home fast.
San Antonio would be a winner for you if you're looking for charm, stability, and culture without the chaos. With lower prices, historic character, and a slower pace, this is where peace of mind meets plenty to explore.
But if you're planning a move, you don't have to figure it all out on your own.
Whether you're moving in 10 days or 10 months, we're here to help. Call, text, email, or book a Zoom call. Our info is in the description.
And although we primarily work in the Austin area, we have great referral partners in the other major cities in Texas. So reach out and we can connect you with some really great agents in San Antonio, Dallas, or Houston. And make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next video. We're revealing the quirks, facts, and little known secrets that make Austin way more interesting than you think.
Living in Austin, Texas, with our experience, patience, and positivity. Follow us and we'll show you the